Hey everyone, welcome to Mike's Northwest Adventures. I am your host Mike, coming to you on Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. Welcome to the channel. This channel is new. Started this channel to highlight my wife and I's adventures and travel activities throughout the Northwest. We've got a trip coming up to Maui, Hawaii. We've got a cruise coming up to Mexico. Some camping trips in there as well, and maybe some kayaking adventures that we wanted to share with you. Today's video is titled 30 Pounds in 30 Days, and really what precipitated this video was to get prepared for Maui. My wife and I decided that we would get our wardrobes out and start to determine what fits and what we want to take with us. My clothes, unfortunately, seem to be quite a bit tighter than they were a year ago. So I jumped on the scale, and that scale said, "Oh my God." And I said, "Oh my God." And that scale actually said 288 pounds, which is about 30 pounds more than I weighed a year ago at this time. So I thought, well, I've got to change a little bit of my lifestyle and go on a little bit of a diet. And so doing some research on the internet, what's the best way to lose 30 pounds in 30 days? And that's probably not the most healthiest thing to undertake. So I would say I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian. So with that said, if you plan to start a weight loss or exercise program on your own, check with your doctor to see what's best for you. So I did the research, and I started seeing many opinions, many ways to lose weight, and some of those, the number one that comes up right now is injections. So the GLP-1 injections seems to be what the most popular thing right now. That's something I thought about, and it's not something I want to do, injections. I want to do this a little bit more of a natural way first to see how it goes. So with that said, some of the options that I came across are vegan, obviously keto, carnivore, exercise more, count calories. So there's plenty of ways to go about it. Counting calories is probably important, but it's not something I want to read labels and start to determine, what goes in, what goes out. I know that everybody says you have to create a calorie deficit, meaning move more, eat less, and you'll lose some weight. But just looking at labels and starting to determine, is that the best way for me? I really didn't want to spend that much time. So then you've got some other options, which vegan is one of those options. I just can't seem to think that it would be very appealing to open up a refrigerator door and see nothing but vegetables. In fact, that'd be pretty depressing to me. So that kind of narrowed it down to I'm going to exercise more, which I'm not a big fan of, but I recently did join a gym with my wife, so there will be some exercise in there as well. So that left keto and carnivore, and I've always been one that I've never really looked forward to the desserts at a buffet. I can walk past those pretty easily. So meat was really the choice for me, which is kind of I guess you would say, dirty keto or carnivore diet. So first process really was to come up with a plan. What do I need to do? And that was to eliminate a lot of the tempting things that are in the pantry that maybe would take me off my diet and derail me a little bit. So got rid of those and thought, well, it's time to stock up on meat, poultry, fish, dairy products. So that's what I decided to do. In fact, after going to Costco, grocery store, and seeing what's available, there was plenty of things available. Costco's probably has the best selection of meat and probably the better cuts, maybe not the most inexpensive. In my area, there's local Fred Meyers and Safeways and Walmarts. For Walmart, cheese and bulk eggs, probably the 5 dozen, 60 eggs are down to $9 and some change at this point. They were up to $30 just about a year ago. So they've dropped down considerably. So that is something that I bought to make sure that I have plenty of dairy for the breakfasts and to just change up the meals a bit, I did go to Amazon. Amazon has a really great deal on hamburger and beef roasts and bacon, a little bit lower price than the local Walmart. So I did order that. And if you're a Prime member, obviously free delivery. One trick that I would say that I did is I actually put that in my cart and watched it. Many times prices will drop. So I was able to score some deals on hamburger. Typically, the price on hamburger for an 80-20 blend, that is about $4 a pound if you're buying it in the 3-pound bulk. So $12 for 3 pounds isn't too bad. You may find it cheaper at your local store. On occasion, beef roasts again, and then bacon. So plan was to buy plenty of meat, stock up, make sure that I had that. In fact, I bought too much to the point where I realized it wasn't going to fit in my regular refrigerator freezer. So I did go to Home Depot, bought a inexpensive freezer for $200, and I now have about 180 pounds of beef and meat in that freezer. So I'm stocked up. So plan is to probably do bacon and eggs for breakfast in the morning, some kind of a hamburger or fish for lunch, and then steak or fish or chicken for dinner. Something I will probably struggle with is coming up with creative ideas to break that up so that the monotony of eating the same thing over and over. So recipes, if you have any suggestions or ideas, suggestions in regards to how to change things up and make it a little bit more appealing, I welcome those. Put them in the comments. So anyway, today was the first day, bacon and eggs this morning for breakfast. Lunch was just hamburger with some melted cheese over the top. And we'll kind of figure it out as we go, just kind of change it up. I'm not opposed to having breakfast for dinner. So maybe that's a way to kind of change things up as well. So that's the plan to get the diet kick-started. And of course, 30 pounds, that means I've got to lose 7 pounds plus per week. I've got 30 days to do it, so that's a pound a day. I'm hoping that, I could probably lose anywhere 10 pounds in the first week is what the idea is. As for drinks or fluids, that's going to be a lot of water, coffee in the mornings, and iced tea. I do have a habit of having a rock star every once in a while to kind of get me through the afternoons with a little bit of caffeine. I'm going to try to limit those or eliminate those throughout this process, and we'll see how that goes. If I have those afternoon needs for caffeine, maybe it's just going to be back to coffee, and that seems to be an approved drink on Carnivore. Again, if you have some ideas in regards to maybe when you need that caffeine or a sweet, by all means, put something in the comments. So back to the channel. Like I said, this kind of started out that my wife and I wanted to share some of the activities that we enjoy in the Northwest and Southwest Washington, and this started a year ago. We went to Maui, decided to do an activity of kayaking off the coast of down south in McKenna out in the ocean. It was a 2-hour activity. Wasn't sure how really that would go. I'm not a great swimmer, but it was pretty easy to get into the kayaks, get out on the ocean, and it was just an absolute best activity that we probably had in the 30 plus years that we've been going to Maui. So in fact, when we got out of the kayaks, we were on the way back to the condo. My wife said, "Hey, can we book that same excursion again this week while we're here?" Of course, they were booked up, so we had to do our own thing. But Santa Claus came and delivered her a kayak under the tree that year. And of course, in turn, she bought me a kayak. So we started out with just 2 kayaks last Christmas. Of course, friends wanted to go, and my kayak went to a friend. I bought a larger fishing kayak for myself. And since then, we've had other friends want to go at some of the local lakes and waterways that we've been going to. So we bought 4 more kayaks and also a 4 kayak trailer. So I think we're in the business of maybe running a little tour guide service of kayaks in the Northwest. So we're going to document that. There's plenty of lakes and waterways around Southwest Washington that we enjoy, and I think you'd probably enjoy coming along for the journey as well. We do have a small travel trailer, and we like to get out and camp several times a year in Oregon and Washington. So we're going to highlight and document some of those trips as well. We take our two little Pomeranians with us and have a great time. Be helpful maybe to show you some of the campgrounds and where we go. So there'll be some kayaking. There'll be some air travel trips. We recently decided to go on a cruise about a year ago. That was on Princess Cruises to Alaska. Again, wife didn't have really any desire to go to Alaska or to be on a cruise ship. The day we got back from that cruise, my wife booked a cruise back to Alaska to take her friends. Enjoyed that. We now have a cruise booked to go to the Mexican Riviera in March to celebrate our 44th wedding anniversary. So we'll highlight that and document that as well. So upcoming on the channel, there's going to be plenty of Northwest adventures that we're going to share with you. Again, back to the 30 pounds in 30 days. I am going to post another video in 1 week to show you how the progress has gone. Hopefully that's a 7 to 10 pound weight loss. We'll see how that goes. But again, if you have any suggestions, tips, recipes that you'd like to share, I welcome those. So leave them in the comments. So with that said, you'll see other upcoming videos to highlight what we're going to be doing, what you're going to be seeing with the activities. So if you find this video informative or like it, thumbs up. Think about subscribing as well. And until the next video, this is Mike with Mike's Northwest Adventures. Thanks for watching.